Our very first interval is our smallest interval. It is the smallest distance you can travel between two notes, and it's called a minor second. A minor second on my guitar would look very simple. I just pick any fret. Today I'll pick the 7th fret on the first string. That's a B. And if I just play the note next door, right there on the 8th fret, that is a minor second interval. We can do that on other strings as well. We can start down here. That's a minor second interval. On a guitar, though, there is another way to play a minor second interval to let these notes ring into one another. It's going to create an awesome dissonant sound. What I'll do is I'll put my pinky on the low string, all right, on the 7th fret, and that is a B. And if I want to play that next door note, C, I can find it on the 5th string. It's just quite a stretch here. I'm going to have to stretch my first finger all the way over to this C, which is 4 frets backwards. So basically, if I want to play minor seconds as a guitar player, I could just do this right next to each other, or I could go this elaborate route of putting my pinky on a note and then dropping 4 frets back onto the next string and getting that note as well. All right, and do you hear what that sounds like when those two notes run into each other? We're going to talk about that sound here in just a bit. But basically, I can do that again on these two strings to produce a minor second. I can do it on these two strings to produce a minor second. On the next two strings, though, I have to bring that first finger in, so it's only a 3-fret gap, and that's my minor second. And then when I get back to the first two strings, I do that big jump as well. This is some really ugly sounding stuff. I mean, if you hear what those two notes sound like next to each other, that is awesomely dissonant, all right? And I do want to talk a little bit about the way this interval feels. I think it's a very distinct feeling. It's very close. Those two notes next to each other, you can hear that they're close. I mean, try imagining a note in between those notes. If you try singing B, C, and if you try singing a note in between B, C, B, like there's really nothing there, all right? So that should kind of indicate to you that you're dealing with a minor second. If you're hearing two tones that are so close to each other, you can't even envision a note in between them. Also, this sense of anxiety and tension that comes from a minor second is easily exploitable as a composer. I did a video not too long ago on spooky music theory, and I talked about how Jaws, the movie Jaws, the theme song uses a minor second to create that impending doom. So if you're a metal player, obviously this is going to be one of those notes that you're going to be using a lot, one of those intervals you're going to be using a lot. And in the high register here, if I do that stretch again where I'm doing 4 frets back on these first two strings, that high-pitched minor second is wonderful if you're into dissonant atonal music. You combine that with some palm mutes, you're going to get some pretty cool, alarming sounding stuff. All right? So where do we actually hear it outside of Jaws? Well, Jaws is going to be pretty much the best example I can give for you. And I think that this one is so distinct and so unique that you really don't have to worry about other song examples to identify the minor second. But I still want you to test your ear by playing a note and envisioning what a minor second would sound like after it. So this note is an A. It doesn't matter what note it is. All that matters is, can I hear what this note would sound like before I even play it? So I'm going to sing this note, and I'm going to imagine what it would sound like if I went up a half step. So it's pretty close, right? And that's an excellent test, is actually use your voice to sing your guesstimation, your guess of what that next note's going to be. Then play it and see if you were right or not. And that feedback loop of finding, I was too sharp, I was too flat, I was singing too high. That's going to be one of the methods you're going to be using to really nail these intervals into place. All right? So that's all I've got to say about the minor second. We will move on to the major second.